What's going on, everyone? So welcome to my latest video. This is part of a series where I focus on Academy Award Best Picture nominees and rank them from worst to best. Now, I have also done in the past 1990s, 2000s, 2010s, 2020s Academy Award Best Picture nominees. Recently, I did start doing the 1980s Academy Award Best Picture nominees, specifically the year 1980. You clicked on this video, so you know it. This time around, I am doing 1981 Academy Award Best Picture nominees and ranking them from worst to best. Now, this was a year where there was 5 Best Picture nominees, so I'll be ranking them from 5 being the worst to 1 being the best, and of course, my humble opinion. And it goes without saying, my list is going to be different from yours, and that's what's great about opinions. It is subjective, and so I'm very much so looking forward to seeing your ranking for these Academy Award Best Picture nominees down below. But guys, enough exposition. Let's get started. So kicking things off, my number 5, we have Chariots of Fire. So this is a movie I'm glad that I rewatched because this is the one that won Best Picture for 1981. And as you can see, this is the one that I liked the least. However, this probably would have been middle of the pack if I had gone with my thoughts on it years ago. But recently I decided to rewatch it, and it didn't really hold up. The score by Vangelis is amazing. It's a great score, and the opening scene is memorable. But this is a movie that the pacing really hampers this movie. Like, this is a movie that's 2 hours and 5 minutes, but it feels a lot longer. The characters really aren't that interesting. The themes and messages are pretty safe. It's just a very standard issue movie, and even at this time period, and when the film came out in 1981, I still can't imagine being a voter for the Academy and being like, you know what? This is the one that should win Best Picture over these other 4. Like, it blows my mind. But here we are. This is what won Best Picture for 1981. And, again, similar to 1980, when I ranked that, I do want to hear people's thoughts on Chariots of Fire. Like, if there is someone that says, hey, Chariots of Fire, I'm glad it won Best Picture. I liked it more than these other 4 nominees. I really want to hear your thoughts as to why this is a movie that you felt was better than the other 4. Genuinely speaking, again, I'll keep an open mind because I can see the appeal, but it just on second viewing, it just was a movie that I did struggle with mightily. Again, Vangelis' score is pretty amazing and the opening scene is great, but other than that, it's a pretty forgettable movie. And that's why it's my number 5. Next up, my number 4, this is a very ambitious film, and that is Reds. So Reds is a film that, for the last decade plus, I would always see the DVD cover at my local library for Reds, and every time that I would, look at the back cover, I would see how long it is. It's like 3 hours and 20 minutes, and every time I was like, all right, I'll watch it at some point in time. And I'm glad that I decided to set this goal to watch every 1980s Academy Award Best Picture nominee, because otherwise it probably would have been another 10 years that I watched Reds. But I'm glad that I finally sat down to watch Reds, because this is a really rock solid film. Like, this is one of those films that I can imagine revisiting this and liking it even more, because on first watch, I was thoroughly impressed by the filmmaking. The cinematography is gorgeous, the production design, the music, the acting. It's a really interesting film in terms of the filmmaking. But again, the length, it can be felt at times, but at the same time, I do kind of wonder if on rewatch, I won't feel that way. But as it stands, rock solid film. I would highly recommend you watch Reds. It is a one-of-a-kind film. You don't see films like this being made too often, which is a shame. But yeah, I liked Reds quite a bit, and that's my number 4. Next up, my number 3, we have Atlantic City. This is a character-driven, slice-of-life type film filled with incredible performances, really good cinematography, really good dialogue. It's a simple, very well done film that has very interesting themes. Again, not a mind-blowing film, but I do like it quite a bit. And this is similar to Reds. This is a film that I can imagine myself revisiting it down the line and liking it even more. But as it stands, again, it's a simple film done really well. And if you've been sleeping on it, would highly recommend watching Atlantic City. And it's not that long, too. I believe it's under 2 hours. So definitely watch Atlantic City. And that's why it's my number 3. Next up, my number 2, this is another film that's quite simple in premise, but in execution, it is very interesting. And that's my number 2, On Golden Pond. Katharine Hepburn, Henry Fonda, Jane Fonda, it's a match made for heaven. This is another one of those films similar to Reds. I would always see at my local library the DVD cover for it, and I think I just always was like, why would I watch this movie? Because even though I love these actors, why would I watch it? It's probably just old people talking, and it's probably just not that interesting. And again, that was my mindset as a young teenager, and over a decade plus later, it's kind of ignorant thinking that because the film has a lot more to say. Like thematically, this is a very, very rich film, and it's not just old people talking; it's old people looking back at life whilst at the same time looking forward, and it's a very existential film. Like this is a film that I found to be quite deep, and I was moved by not only the performances and the dialogue, but just the writing. It's a very, very strong film that I can already tell you this. This is one of those films that I already know will get better on rewatch. Because I was moved on first watch as, you know, someone that's nearing 30. So I can only imagine watching this again in my 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. And then, of course, as I'm even closer to the individuals in this film, it's a film that just seems like it's going to get better. And I am very, very happy that it won a bunch of awards for the 1981 ceremony. Very well deserved. And yeah, that's why it's my number 2. Again, I was very happy to see on Golden Pond because this is one of those films where going into I was like, it's probably going to be my number 4 or 5. So I was just very, very happy that it was like, wow, no, this is my number 2. So yeah, but there was a film that I liked more than On Golden Pond. This is a film that I've had throughout my life, and it gets better and better with each viewing, and that's my number 1, which is Raiders of the Lost Ark. Yeah, I own the 4-movie collection of Indiana Jones, but I'm focusing on, of course, Raiders of the Lost Ark. Raiders of the Lost Ark is what started the Indiana Jones series, and it's a good thing that there was only 3 Indiana Jones films. But anyways, Raiders of the Lost Ark, it's a great film. It's one of the best action films of all time. It's just one of the best films of all time. It's got a very charismatic Harrison Ford, John Williams' incredible score, incredible cinematography, stunt work, pacing. Oh my goodness, the pacing, this is breakneck. It's amazing. It's also a thematically rich film. It's funny. It's clever. It's got incredible action scenes. I really can't emphasize that enough. This is the full package. Spielberg was firing on all cylinders, and this is just one of those films that it's a shame it didn't win Best Picture, but I understand that probably for the time, people were like, why would I give it Best Picture? It's an action-adventure film, but I'm sure that Academy voters look back and say, yeah, we probably should have given it Best Picture, and to that I say, yeah, you should have. But yeah, Raiders of the Lost Ark is my number 1 for 1981. But yeah, guys, let me know your ranking for the 1981 Academy Award Best Picture nominees. And as always, I really do appreciate you guys watching. Look forward to see the 1982 Academy Award Best Picture nominees, which will be coming out the following month. And as always, thank you very much for watching. The subscription, notification bell, follow me on Letterboxd, and I will catch you guys later.